Why did Angry Birds go bankrupt? Now, real quick in chat with your hands up. When is the last time y'all played Angry Birds? Like 4 years ago? Never played it. 2021? Okay, I feel like that's way too recent. 2015? Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I feel like they kind of just gave up after the Angry Birds movie. So I do see a decline out of all like the games. Like, really think of it, Angry Birds had a empire. They had everything. They were basically, weren't they the first big like mobile app game? I think they were. Am I wrong? Oh my god. 2009. God. Yeah, they were definitely the first. So let's see what happened to Angry Birds. I didn't even know they went bankrupt. Did anybody here know they went bankrupt? To be fair, I mean, I don't remember the last time I even played Angry Birds. Half of y'all said like years ago. I don't know, but let's see what happened to it.
Angry Birds is now completely and utterly irrelevant. If you could travel back in time and tell this fact to somebody in the early 2010s, they simply wouldn't have believed you.
So it was the early 2010s.
That's because
they made the first game cost out of money because no one else was playing the other game.
A decade ago, Angry Birds was more than just the #1 mobile game series of all time. Angry Birds was a true media empire with games,
that's exactly what I said.
Toys, movies, and more.
Yo, by the way, did y'all rock with the Angry Birds movie?
Empire with games, toys.
I was looking back on it, and they actually have like a couple of adult jokes and stuff. I didn't realize how many people actually liked it. Yes, I didn't realize it. I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember watching it when it first came out, though.
And more.
What a classic.
The franchise was bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars. Analysts were projecting Angry Birds to be a global brand, similar to that of Pokemon or Hello Kitty.
Okay, relax. Angry Birds was never going to reach the level of Hello Kitty or Pokemon. That's just not happening. It's probably going to be huge, but come on.
Redbird seemed unstoppable. But now, the name Angry Birds is nothing but a distant memory. The brand has rapidly faded into irrelevance and is now a forgotten relic of the internet's past. Everybody was rooting for Angry Birds in their studio, thanks to the team having such an unbelievably inspiring story. The year was 2003.
That was the year I was born. Damn.
Helsinki University in Finland.
Some of y'all was probably negative years old or something.
Game development contest. Helsinki University in Finland decided to join a mobile game development contest. Despite stiff competition, the three won, thanks to a game they created and later sold called King of the Cabbage World. This was a pivotal moment for the three young students. They realized that their burning passion
sexy ass bird
was a pivotal moment for the three young students. They realized.
Damn, sexy ass birds. Why they look like, y'all see the eyes? Why they make the birds look so pretty? Don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try that. Look at the birds. Like the birds, like the Angry Birds, they do not look like that. Like look at this female bird's eyes. Hey there, Tommy NFG here. Just a little reminder to make sure to subscribe because only about 30% of you guys watching this are actually subscribed. Also tune into the Twitch streams every once in a while. You know, we have a lot of fun there. There's a lot of fun that goes on there. So I'm ending it right here. Let's get back to the video. Y'all know what I mean.
That their burning
passion I beat the allegations.
For creativity in gaming could lead to a seriously lucrative career. That's when they decided to go all in on a mobile game company.
Wow. Which tentacles? Hold up.
Yeah. That's when they decided to go all in.
Tentacles? This just looks horrible. This is what was it about to do? Octopussies? Octopussies instead of the birds? Or the pigs? That just did not look right. W change if that's actually true.
On a mobile game company, which they named Reload. After less than a year in operation,
I thought it was Rovio.
Decided to change the name of their company to Rovio, the Finnish word for bonfire. It made sense. They all shared a burning passion for creativity.
Okay, that's a fire name.
The following years were brutally difficult for the company. Remember, this was all before the advent of the smartphone that we know today. Their bet on mobile gaming was a wild idea.
Oh my god, like look at these kids. They don't know that their attention span is actually just being destroyed right here. And they didn't even grow up with like the classic mobile era. Look at them. They're probably on TikTok looking at like it's tough.
This resulted in the company making a whopping 51 games that all flopped.
Oh my god.
Were really selling
51?
Gained any
I don't even know 51 people.
By 2009, the team was in a dire financial situation, at risk of folding completely. But suddenly, a light bulb went off. they had an idea for their 50-second game: Angry Birds. They loved the concept of birds that had no legs, so their only way of launching forward was with a slingshot. And best of all, the iPhone's touchscreen allowed for an engaging launching mechanic, as well as trajectory lines. The team launched their 50-second title with Angry Birds, and, well, it didn't immediately take off. But 6 months later, the momentum and hype had built to the point where the Angry Birds was at the
Oh my god. Number 1, yeah. They definitely... Oh, Doodle Jump. Oh, Doodle Jump. I'm pretty sure I still have this game on my phone.
#1 spot on the App Store charts. At this time, most apps that hit #1 had a good 2-week run of glory and then fell into obscurity. But not Angry Birds, which stayed at the top for 275 days. The game exceeded expectations for the team in no time, quickly becoming their first and only profitable and popular title. Globally, people were talking
they were making
about
bread
Angry
off this. Y'all see this?
Birds.
They got it on the phone, they got the magazines, plushies, they had everything. Look at the hoodie.
Children, mums, grandmas were all
They were
playing
covering
this
on the
simple
news.
yet
Look at
addictive
the
game.
old news guys even know
It didn't just
about
take
it.
the US by storm.
They had it.
No, it took the entire world.
It was like the Michael
by
Jackson of
storm.
mobile games.
As the upward trajectory continued,
They could have just lived off that high.
Angry Birds became more than a game.
They got a theme park?
True cultural phenomenon.
Ew.
There wasn't a single individual,
Oh
young
god.
or old, who wasn't aware.
Yeah,
of
everybody
the game,
knows the Angry Bird.
or who couldn't.
I'm sorry. Every time I see Terrence's like fat ass forehead, it's just so funny to me. Matilda? That's the orange bird's or the white bird's name, Matilda? Oh god. I'm sorry. Every time I see Terrence.
Immediately recognized one of the characters. Merchandise was flying off of the shelves.
That's a guy?
Suddenly, every
never said it
kid
wasn't.
was sporting Angry Birds apparel and begging their parents for the plushies. The once mobile game snowballed into a franchise that the small Finnish company never could have dreamed of.
Oh my god, 648 million downloads? And this was like back then too.
Birds was the coolest and most relevant brand, for many outright defining the early 2010s. The team knew that they had more than a game.
Wow.
They had an empire.
Yep.
Immediately, they set their sights on growing Angry Birds into a brand, similar to that of Disney or Pokemon. They knew
That was
they
never
had
gonna
to
happen.
build on their momentum. And
This is
build
probably
on it
where they
quickly.
sold,
The
pre-sold.
company changed the name to Rovio Entertainment, better
that's
reflecting
not
their
bad.
new direction. No longer just game development. They needed to focus on building a global brand. They needed to build an Angry Birds universe. It took Angry Birds 3 years, from 2009 to 2012, to hit 1 billion downloads. In 2014, just 2 years later, Angry Birds hit 2 billion downloads. All the while,
Damn.
Rovio was creating more Angry Birds games that built off the initial concept.
Oh yeah, see, that's where it got annoying. See, I think this is where, look, I'm gonna say my opinion right here. I think they fucked up when they started having, like, adding a million type of games. You had Angry Birds 1, Angry Birds 2, the Angry Birds Star Wars, Angry Birds Earth Day, Angry Birds President's Day. It's like, damn, we don't need a game for everything. That's a perfect example of how to not milk something. Like, you have to look at them and be like, wow, yeah, never do that. That's why I don't come on stream and just do like one thing all of the time. You're never supposed to do that.
If you
could
had
probably name
access
like
to a
3 or
phone
4
in
at
the
the
early
most.
2010s, you'll know the titles: Angry Birds Seasons, Angry Birds
What is that?
Rio,
I remember
Angry Birds
Rio.
Friends,
What is Friends?
Angry Birds Space, Star Wars.
I remember
It
Space.
just
I remember
kept
Star
going.
Wars.
The game was growing in popularity and the brand was expanding. The global popularity was so massive that they even built a theme park in central China. Hello Kitty was a $9 billion business. Why couldn't Angry Birds be the same? The founders leaned all in. Needless to say, the brand had become a cash cow, the likes of which had never been seen for a mobile game. In 2012, they had made $195 million in revenue, and a staggering 50% of their revenue was coming from merchandise. It seemed like it was all going up, that they were becoming the unstoppable brand that everyone expected them to be. But there was a lot more going on below the surface. Cracks were forming, which eventually led to the downfall of the unstoppable brand. While the Angry Birds craze was taking over the globe, a less hopeful picture was emerging.
Yo, Eminem?
Birds craze was taking over the globe, a less hopeful
Eminem? I'm sorry. I see a white dude with a beard and like a black hat. I always think of Eminem. You know that one dude that does the Eminem impression?
Picture was emerging.
Never mind, let me
A
stop.
company that was so focused on milking a franchise that they forgot what made them popular in the first place. Good games. For
Yep, they milked it.
In 2012, during the peak of Angry Birds fever, Rovio released
What was
a new
that?
The Amazing Alex. It was a mobile game focused around puzzles and physics, a concept that was not too dissimilar to Angry Birds. The game failed to gain any noteworthy success. There's a reason that you
It failed because it didn't have Tommy NFG there. Should have Mia as the character.
never heard of it. This was indicative of the company's true success potential. Game number 52, Angry Birds, was the smash hit of all smash hits. But game number 53, a boring, uninspiring failure, just like games number 1 to 51 that the company had released. Were they a team of experts who finally cracked the code for making the perfect game and franchise? Or were they a team that got exceptionally lucky with just one game? Well, Angry
Not.
Birds kept
Holy shit!
releasing more games.
Oh my god! Chat from the top of your head, name 5 Angry Birds games. What is this? This is exactly what I was talking about. What the hell? Like, why do you even need some of these? Seasons? I never heard of the seasons. I know, okay, this is what I know from the top of my head. The original Angry Birds, Rio, Space, Star Wars. I don't know what Bad Piggies is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what Epic is. I don't know what Angry Birds, like there's another. Oh, that's the go-kart one. I don't know what this is. AB. I don't know. Oh, that's with that fat ass nigga Terrence in the background. Ugh. Just don't need all of this. You just don't. I thought these were rip-off games.
Each game seemed increasingly less original, less creative, and less adored than the one prior. For example, the team released Angry Birds Transformers, which was a bizarre side-scroller game that begged for microtransactions every step of the way. Expectedly, the game was shunned by critics and fans alike, failing to make any meaningful returns.
I mean, it's just
a similar story.
It's funny because now that's like every mobile game. You go on any mobile game, you get spammed with ads. You basically every mobile game now is pretty much useless. You can't even use it unless you buy the ad-free version. And now they added it. I remember this is the exact moment where I never touched like one of those mobile games again. They added it where you can't even turn off your Wi-Fi. Like you have to turn on your Wi-Fi now with service, or you get the ads. So at that point, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. I mean, to be fair, I didn't even play mobile games like that. But I remember downloading a specific game I saw on TikTok. And then after that, I turned off my Wi-Fi to get the ads off. And it told me you have to turn it on. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm already too old for it anyways. Too old for mobile
Angry
games.
Birds Fight, which was a clear
Most mobile
and
games have
obvious
ads, but Clash of
rip-off
Clans
of
doesn't.
Candy Crush, but with Angry Birds characters. In addition, the same can be said for Angry Birds Go, which was a lackluster Mario Kart ripoff. The games were getting worse, and the fans were getting increasingly bored. It became clear to the fans of the franchise that fun, unique, creative games were no longer the priority of Rovio. Instead, there was one clear focus for the company hoping to IPO. Pump out as many gaming titles that have the name Angry Birds attached to it, all in an effort to milk more
And to be
money.
fair, people would eat it up. Like, everybody was playing every Angry Birds game. As long as I had it attached, it's kind of like, y'all remember how FaZe used to be? How it used to be? Remember, at first FaZe, when you got into FaZe, everybody knew you. You got like a +1 up in everything. But now everybody's just named FaZe. Like, it's washed now pretty much. Nobody cares about it.
Through sales and
Everybody's FaZe now.
merchandising.
Exactly.
The company quickly found themselves in a bad place after the new titles absolutely underwhelmed and underperformed. In 2014, Rovio
What the hell? What is this? What is this pig cooking?
laid off 110 employees
Wait,
and underperformed. In 2014, Rovio laid off one.
am I tripping? The pig is cooking their eggs? Has it always been like that? That's the point of oh, he's cooking the bird's eggs. You don't remember they cooked the eggs? Alright, never mind. I'm having a Spectrum moment.
110 employees,
I guess I forgot.
which was around 15% of their workforce. The boring titles and failure to properly evolve with the ever-changing internet led the once cool brand to become rapidly uncool. This dramatically impacted merchandise sales as well, which was the most devastating for the company. By the mid-2010s, Rovio was in a bad place. They had put all of their proverbial and digital eggs in
my
one
god, is that a
basket.
zombie?
Angry Birds.
What's going on?
Even with funded studios that were solely responsible for creating brand new original concepts, absolutely nothing gained momentum. The team had struck gold with Angry Birds, a phenomenon they were unable to replicate. The only strategy they could rely on was milking the brand for absolutely everything it was worth, hoping that miraculously they'd regain a fan base. To no one's surprise, this failed. By the mid-2010s...
That's the show? They have a show? See, this just goes to show right here, like, I didn't even know that. This just goes to show that they don't know what they're doing. Why do Angry Birds have a show? They had a lot of animated shorts back in the day. Why would they give us lore and stuff? Lamau? I don't know.
The relevance of Angry Birds was a mere fraction of what it was just a few years
like the shows,
prior.
alright.
From 2014 to 2015, merchandise sales had fallen by 43%. Rovio had to fire an additional 260
Yeah, now if I see anybody wearing like an Angry Birds shirt or hoodie, it's gonna be like some 5-year-old.
employees. A brand that revolves around a mobile game will only be cool, quirky, and unique for so long. In order to sustain success, you have to build new success. Disney didn't just try to coast off Mickey Mouse's successful debut for 80 years, building nothing praiseworthy in the time between. No. Disney built an empire by having Mickey Mouse in multiple unique, original titles that were all widely beloved.
True.
At the same time, they were building multiple other entities through the overarching brand. This is a strategy that Rovio was unable to execute. Instead, they only had one strategy to rely on. Have a splash hit with a 2009 mobile game, then try to coast off its popularity for as long as you can. This is a strategy that simply can't last more than a few years, which is what we saw with Angry Birds. By 2015, the impact and brand power of Angry Birds was all but dead. The thought of wearing an Angry Birds t-shirt or owning an Angry Birds plushie was no longer the excitement.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I fucking said. It's like nowadays, tell me if I'm wrong, if you see somebody with like some Angry Bird shit, it's gonna be like some 5-year-old. It's gonna be some 5-year-old wearing like an Angry Bird shirt or hoodie or something like that. So like now it's at the point where if you're wearing this, it's just child. I mean, to be fair, it is a mobile game, I guess. But like, I feel like it was probably different back then.
And novel concept it was in 2010. As the company was tanking, they did receive their saving grace in 2016, the Angry Birds movie. Thanks to the animated movie appeal for kids, as well as a star-studded cast with faces like Bill Hader and Danny McBride, the movie did quite well, earning $352 million against a $73 million budget.
Say you swear to God it earned that much. What? Was that out the loop or something? Movie was peak? Am I out the loop? So this is probably like their last thing. It's probably where they exactly peaked and then ended off. I remember watching it. I don't think I watched it. I definitely didn't watch it in theaters. I'll never watch a kids movie in theaters because all you're gonna hear is babies crying and annoying ass kids. Can never do that.
The second movie, however,
peak,
released in 2019, earned $152 million.
Damn.
Less than half of what the first movie made. Also, in 2019, the company potentially put the nail in the coffin of any hope for regaining success. They made one of the biggest possible mistakes, which dramatically put off the few remaining loyal fans of the franchise. They had removed the old Angry Birds games from mobile phones without any warning. This means that if you had an Angry Birds game on an older device, suddenly, one day, you were completely unable to play it. It's not a surprise.
Nah, wait, some people actually like save their old phones just because of that. They removed that? I hope other apps don't do that, like Flappy Bird. Some people still have their old like iPhone 4s with like Flappy Bird. I hope they don't do that.
Surprise why they did this. The company was in shambles.
So they can add microtransactions?
To a small bump in popularity thanks to a successful first movie. Now, their only hope towards profitability was pushing fans to their newer, more lucrative games, rife with microtransactions. This was just one more misstep from a company that had failed to do anything right by their fan base. After intense backlash from the now small Angry Birds community, they released an apology. Dear fans, the old Angry Birds games are some of the most loved, downloaded and known games in the world. We know. We're so proud to have made them, and we are overwhelmingly happy that they've meant so much to you. But then, we took them out of circulation and didn't say anything, and that let you down. Not cool. We promise our heart was in the right place. We wanted to focus on building new and even better games to serve our players in the best possible way going forward.
Like that.
Now,
just be honest. Just be honest. Why are you even lying like that? Oh my God, I hate that company shit. Honestly, look, I don't know if it's just me, but like when a company does something really bad or something, I'd rather hear like a real response from real people rather than the typical like, we are sorry, we guarantee, like this and that. It's like sounds so automated now. It sounds so dead. I don't even take it that serious. And I mean, you know they're doing it because they're getting canceled or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is.
Rovio is doing the only thing left to do for a dying franchise. They're re-releasing the original Angry Birds for devices and consoles. At this point, the only hope for the company is in relying on the nostalgia factor of the joy we all felt a decade ago playing such a unique title.
Yeah, they're kind of like, see, that's a problem too. If you like make something so nostalgic that people only look back at it because it's like nostalgic, then you're pretty much done for. Because people aren't gonna look at your new stuff. That happens all the time to games. Like people don't play them anymore. They only look back for nostalgia and they don't play any of the new games. So yeah, that's tough, man. Guys, but good news. So believe it or not, Tommy NFG Angry Birds is coming out soon. I really didn't want to reveal it yet. I don't know if I'm even supposed to tell this information, but new game is coming out. Be prepared. It'll be on your app store in the next coming like couple business days, you know what I'm saying? It'll be there, and yeah, just be prepared.